This is some fucked up shit. And I wouldn't do this to my worst enemy. It was done to me by somebody I love, somebody I trust, somebody I believe in, somebody I admire. That's who decided to leave me stranded the day before we move into a place to just figure everything out from scratch. But that just speaks to the strength that he sees in me, right?
She got it. She good. She is so good. She can take care of herself.
I just didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. And you know how they be like, oh, don't judge people's relationship because you don't know what's going on inside their house, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to act like we were the most perfect couple or like we didn't fight or anything like that. We had our fair share of fights. We argued. Like, bro, what? You don't want to move in now? So it just put everything in question for me, everything. Because I'm like, this is my boy. Like, this is not just some random person. This is my boyfriend. This is my friend of almost 10 years. Like, it's deep when it feels like, how could this person do this or anything like that? We had our fair share of fights. We argued. We also went to therapy. We also have meditated together and talked to each other and had very deep conversations about our commitments to this relationship and how that we're willing to work through all those things and that we're committed to each other. We're committed to the growth of each other. We're committed to the growth of the relationship. So we're invested and committed in continuing to work on those things, no matter what. No, we weren't perfect. We weren't perfect in any way. I don't think we ever tried to act like we were. So if you thought that, I don't know why. We loved each other though. We love each other a lot. And we have been great friends. We have had so many good times. We had a happy relationship. We were happy. Despite whatever's happening right now or whatever we feel for each other right now, we were happy. Like, we brought each other so much joy. We've been here for several years in North Carolina. Neither of us have any family out here, and we've just been holding each other down these past 2 years, and it's been great on my end. I can't speak for him. You know, maybe I just got too caught up in the happiness that I was willing to ignore a lot of the unhappiness. But all of that was on account of commitments that were made. So I'm like, we can get through unhappy times because my happiness period doesn't depend on this relationship. So I'm gonna be unhappy no matter what. So I can be unhappy with you. You know what I'm saying? Since it's happened, I have spoke to him. I didn't go nowhere on my face. Where is this thing aimed at? It's just missing me. What is happening? Try to find it. So this is gonna be my attempt to reiterate his point of view for those of you who are curious about what his reasoning was behind this. He feels like we can better progress and grow to our fullest potential by living apart. He believes that us living under the same roof is holding us back from growing to be our true and best selves. Because we've both been putting in a fair amount of work for self-evolution and growth and development. And that work has included a plethora of things, just really some healing and just self-development work that all adults should put forth to improve a lot of things that you have been conditioned to be like from your childhood or from things that you just developed throughout your life that you have to unlearn because they're not helpful to you in life. So we've both been doing a fair amount of work to unlearn a lot of those bad patterns and things that we have gotten into based off of our life thus far. And he feels like that work has kind of been in vain because we are still fighting and still having things getting in the way of what he feels like is our personal growth. That's his personal sentiment, and I'm not gonna agree or disagree with it. I don't feel like he holds me back. But if that's what he feels about the relationship, I'm not gonna argue with that. Or about us living under the same roof, which I feel like is the relationship. So the conversation that he had with me was more along the lines of like, we can still make this work if we can just not live under the same roof. And like I said, that doesn't align with me. So I'm not in a place to agree with that or to want to do something like that because it doesn't serve me. If we can't grow together as a couple and individually and help each other do that while working through the things that may be holding us back, if we can't work through those things, I'm just not willing to do that. I'm not gonna go live on my own, work on myself, and then bring you the finished product. So I have no interest in doing that. If you want to live on your own, I feel, you're free to be a single man. So enjoy doing that. It's above me now. I'm not mad at him. I'm not, because I understand that nothing is personal. People do what they have to do for themselves. They do what they think is right in the moment for themselves. And it's not for me to tell him that he's dumb. This is not a personal attack against me. I don't receive it as such. And even if it was, if it was malicious on his side, if he was like,
I'm gonna just put this bitch out, she don't have nowhere to go, I don't give a fuck.
If that's was his attitude, I still wouldn't receive it as a personal attack because it's not about me. You doing something like that is about you. My heart and mind is so clear because I know what I deserve. I know what part I played in the relationship. I know the part we both played in the relationship. I know what I've contributed and where I could have done better. I know all of that. And I still feel good about where I'm leaving things. I was always a work in progress. And I was always very transparent about the work that's in progress. There are two types of relationships, right? Where you can meet somebody, y'all can both be at great places in your life. You can feel like y'all are equally yoked and y'all can just ride off into the sunset and everything is great because y'all came here fully who you need to be. And that's beautiful. That will be the ideal situation, right? But then there are other types of relationships where you haven't done the work yet and you're still damaged people and you're blending your damages. And some situations like ours, we were aware of that, which is why we took necessary steps in going to therapy and working on ourselves and doing self-development work, and healing a lot of the traumas from our childhood and from our past that made us the way that we are. So that was real work. And when two people come together and they do that work together, it can be a beautiful thing. It can be a beautiful thing because you help each other to get through that. You help each other to come to terms with what's wrong with you. And that's a real thing. Like, there's something wrong with all of us. And the person that we end up with will either have to accept those things or help you to change those things. And you want to find somebody that's going to help you to change those things. So you don't want to be a damaged person. So when you find somebody that's going to help you fix those things and y'all working on those things together, it can be lovely. It can be beautiful. It can be so deep and just helpful, because you never know how bad you were until you're not there anymore. You know, unfortunately, he feels like his next step of progression needs to be done on his own, and he feels the same about my next step of progression. So, you know, I'm not in a place to argue with that, and I can accept it for what it is. And, you know, he could be absolutely right. He could be 100% right that we can move on from this and be able to flourish to our fullest potentials like that. You know, like overnight, like a month from now, we could be the best fucking people. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, this is hands down the worst thing that anybody's ever done to me. So while from this situation, I could grow in 1,000 different ways, and I could become the most beautiful, strong person and accomplish the most amazing, powerful things, it doesn't change the fact that this eyebrow is a little off for me.
I got it. I'm good. I can take care of myself.
A day before it happened, I was so happy and so excited about all the things that I had planned for myself. It wasn't even about the relationship. I was just so happy about the things that I said. I'm about to do this. Like, once we move, I'm doing this. Once we move, I'm doing that. I had all these plans, and I was so excited about those things. And that excitement has not gone anywhere. So it's lit. It's lit. It's so fucking lit. Thank you for tuning in to this transformation video. Stay tuned for my fresh start. I did a lot of work to flesh out the parts of me that needed to go. And in God's way, that is happening. It's happening differently than I thought it would, but it's happening, and I'm grateful for it. And, you know, there are many things that I want to talk to you about as to what helped me get in alignment, because obviously I wasn't going to do it, right? So divine alignment said, I'm going to knock you off the course that you're on and put you on my own course. And I accept it. You know, I accept it, open arms, you know. Thank you, God, doing what you had to do. Shout out to life. Shout out to my ancestors, because they working. I see y'all working on me. I see y'all doing what you gotta do. I see y'all. For real. And I ain't even started doing my work yet, and they working on me already. Just shout out to everybody that's rooting for me. Shout out to people that aren't. I hope you don't exist. But if you do, shout out to you. Shout out to Goddess Detox. Just want to say that. Shout out to them. I'm going to do a review, because shout out to Goddess Detox. Whatever the lesson is, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm supposed to learn from this shit. I will learn later. Hopefully. I better learn some. Because that's what they be saying, right? You go through shit so you can learn a bigger lesson. I better be learning some shit. And if I don't, God, we got some words. What's up? That's not fighting hands. I just want to talk.